Welcome to the Slouch Theory. Oh, Slouch Theory. Slouching. Slouching.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and stop being weird. You know what I mean? And just go ahead and tell y'all what y'all about to listen to, cause what y'all about to hear is like a whole podcast, yo, and it's a podcast about like mad shit, you feel me? And then it was with me, you feel me, and one of my homies, you feel me? So go ahead and listen to that pod kizzle. What who is it, you ask? Okay, I will tell you. It is I, Andre D. Thompson, and then for the guest, it's Electra. I can't really pronounce Telesford, and that's the homie. But you know, at the current moment in my life, at my current juncture, the pronunciation of the last name escapes me, and it's rather difficult for me to catch right now at the moment. But that first name though, I can stick the landing, Electra. So it's us rapping, you know what I mean? We was like, and then she said word, and then we was rapping. Y'all want to hear dogs fight? Yeah, that was the sound of dogs fighting. Hold on. Every time I put the microphone next to them, these niggas actually look at the microphone like they got something to say. So these dogs got a little sense of humor. You feel me? Go ahead, listen to this podcast. Tell a friend, tell your cousin, tell a motherfucker that got a pet rabbit. Andre D. Thompson, Slouch Theory. Yeah. Hey, Electra.
Hi.
What up, yo?
What's up? How are you?
How you been? How you doing? All of that. You heard the music?
Am I into music?
Did you hear the music?
No, I didn't hear the music. No.
I had Mary J. Be Happy playing.
Oh, that's a good song.
I was over here getting it. If I was to ask you if you were into music, now that's a really weird question.
Not everybody's into music.
That's a real problem.
For them, yeah.
That's a huge issue for society, because they hear, they participate with us music lovers. So that's something that we all got to deal with these people that don't like sound.
All Republicans are actually don't listen to any music.
It's fearful. I don't know. I'm trying to. Do you not like Republicans?
Not particular. I mean, at this point, I think the Republican Party is like pretty right leaning as a whole. So probably I would feel safer to say that now than ever before.
That is true. But I don't really know. You know what? I don't really know anybody who's like, I'm a Republican. I don't know any.
Well, they wouldn't say that to you, probably.
Why? I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna fuck. What's at stake by saying it to me?
I think it's like a really unpopular positioning right now in New York City as a whole. So people who are Republicans, they do it in like more subtle ways. Like I went to this car dealership, and then I looked at the screen for the receptionist, and it was a picture of Ivanka Trump.
Okay.
So that's a good one.
So at what car dealership was this?
I want to say it was the Bay Ridge Nissan? No, Bay Ridge Mazda, I think.
Bay Ridge Mazda.
Mm-hmm.
You was getting you a Mazda, and Mazda had in Bay Ridge. Hold on, Bay Ridge is supposed to be like a little Republican New York, right?
It's like definitely like that area of New York, like Bay Ridge, Diker Heights,
Howard Beach or some shit, right?
Howard Beach. Yeah, there's certain areas that are definitely like enclaves, I guess, for
enclave.
I think that's the word.
Shit, what does explain?
Explain what the word enclave means. I mean, like, I think it's
Yes.
I might say the wrong thing, but I think it's like a geographical area that particular groups of people might find themselves in.
Enclave, a geographical
I'm gonna look it up
area
right now. I'm
where
gonna look that
particular
one.
groups of people would discover themselves or find
Enclave.
themselves in.
Let me see.
Enclave. I like that shit.
Enclave is
I just downloaded that word. I definitely did. It's in there now.
a portion of territory within surrounded by larger territory whose inhabitants are culturally or ethnically distinct.
Please, may I ask of you one favor? Can you say that again?
Oh, for sure, certainly. So a portion of territory within or surrounded by a larger territory whose inhabitants are culturally or ethnically distinct. So I think in this case, like if New York is a generally considered to be like a progressive city full of liberals, like the enclaves would be these other pockets of differing ideas.
Staten Island.
Staten Island is yeah.
Oh shit.
Maybe, but it's
right.
Staten Island might have democratic enclaves, right?
So it'll be reversed because it's a place unto itself.
Mm-hmm. Something like
that. Shit. All right. Big ass cup of water. I support that. You want to see my cup of water? Mm-hmm. Look at this shit. Monstrosity. It's the size of my head. Look at this.
It is pretty. Yes, it is a big mug as it's described.
Oh man. All right, enclaves. I did not know that word, and now I'm extremely happy that I do.
I'm glad you do too.
I don't know when I'm gonna be able to use it, but it's in, you know what it's in the like it's in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got a gun loaded with the enclave, and the day I get to drop that bitch, I'm gonna be like, I don't even know where I got this from. Well, they're actually gonna know because I recorded it.
Oh, they'll know if they listen, which hopefully they'll listen.
But it's still gonna be a surprise, yo, because the conversation may or may not require it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna drop enclave. Electra.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go?
I'm here. I was gonna close my window.
You cold?
No, I just don't want to because I live by the hospital, so I don't want any sound to.
So your experience of the pandemic was different during that, right?
I mean,
because you were right by a hospital, so you had a closer.
Yeah, we saw some like bodies we saw trucks with the bodies and stuff.
See,
it had like a freezer, but that was pretty much it.
See, I only saw that on the news. I'm not by a hospital, so I didn't see it, but you saw it. So you see what I'm saying? Like, damn, everybody did have a pandemic, but everybody's experience of the pandemic is vastly different.
Everybody did have a pandemic. Some people shorter than others, certainly.
Yeah, like certain people did. We all knew a pandemic happened. We all experienced, quote unquote, the word pandemic, but not the same way at all.
I definitely think there's going to be like pandemic deniers at some point.
At some point, they actively doing it right now.
No, I know, but then they're going to be
from the jump. They was going fuck this.
Yeah, but then they're going to like cultivate like their own. It takes a while to come up with like your own like documents to support what you're saying. Like they're gonna.
You're saying like they're gonna
and then someone's gonna be able to reference the book, and then the book.
Would that be kind of like a flat earther people type of thing, or no?
I mean, I think that there's probably people who are attracted to the flat earther theory are probably also very attracted to the lack of like a not pandemic wasn't real, or like people are still citing things like it's just as deadly as the flu, and it's like people have debunked that like months ago at this point.
I mean, I feel like regular common sense should have debunked that just due to the fact that we've had the flu here for a long time, and this has been a complete different experience from the flu. The flu never shut down the NBA.
Yeah.
The first time we heard about the flu in the NBA, we got some sneakers from it. That was the only thing that took place. Michael Jordan flu games. We got the 12s, baby. That was it. There's no coronavirus sneakers. Nobody was like, oh, this little whimsical joke. That shit did not happen. Nobody was hugging somebody with coronavirus. Scotty carried Michael off the court.
You're teaching me basketball history. I didn't.
No,
Yeah, no.
I don't know why, but I just feel like you just know like mad shit, yo.
I do, but not basketball stuff.
Yeah, but see, I didn't think that. I just thought you knew mad shit to the point where it's just like, hey, I got unnecessary information that doesn't even apply to my life at all, type shit.
I think Enclave is a pretty necessary bit of
Nah,
knowledge.
see, but Enclave is definitely a necessary piece of knowledge. But I'm saying
I think it's Enclave actually.
Enclave.
Mhm.
Yo, no, that's an Enclair.
Huh?
But ain't there like a snack, like a little chocolatey snack? That's like a
Oh, Eclair. Yeah. I think
okay.
yeah.
This is fucking me up. This is
Yeah. I
okay.
think it might be Enclave,
Enclave.
but I don't feel bad about mispronouncing it because this means that I learned it via reading.
Okay, so now we were saying enclave before.
Now we're gonna say Enclave moving
Now we're
forward.
saying enclave.
Mm-hmm.
Which one should I go outside with confidence with?
Enclave,
Enclave.
I think.
I think
Maybe I can
I'm
find
gonna
it and
need
mispronounce
you
it.
to send me on the road correctly. Which one?
Hold on. I have it right here. Hold on. We're gonna hear it out. Enclave.
Enclave. So not enclave no more.
You know, how about you spent your whole life not saying it? Let's just move
How about I
forward.
just let this shit go and stay the same?
Never say it. Write it down. You can write it down wherever you want, but
I
just
think I
don't.
worked this hard to stay the same. You know that? You know where that's from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
I don't know.
Come on, you said yes.
I lied. I can't go without knowing everything. So
See, I
I'll
I
never
know
say.
you that type. That's why I knew. I was like, yo, I bet you she know mad shit, son. But that
Yeah.
was a reference to a Jay-Z lyric.
Oh no, I'm not
All
a Jay.
right, all right. So yes, you're one of those types that's just like, I'm gonna just put all the stuff in my brain. Okay, give me some shit that you may find or know is a what obscure type of thing to know, like an obscure information, something that you know is like not extremely common. It ain't just out in the regular. Public school did not teach me this type shit. Like I got to be thinking to know this, and you be thinking. And one of them type of things that you done thought up.
Mm-hmm.
Let one of them bitches drop.
Um.
I know you got a
Okay.
goodie. Oh
So
shit.
I don't know if this is gonna be that good because I actually taught this in school, so my students know about it, but and I'm sure a lot of people know about it. But radium girls were these girls that worked in the clock factory where they were painting. They were paid to paint the numbers on the dial of a watch, and so they would dip the paint into this paint pot, whatever, their brush into the paint pot, and then they were influenced and it was recommended by their supervisors to like point the tip with their teeth to keep it sharp, and then the paint that they were using had radium in it, so they were basically over the course of like 1 to 3 years, a lot of these women ended up getting like necrosis in their jaws, and they
What's
got
necrosis?
it's like when your jaw just like your skin and flesh just rots out of your face.
Oh
And,
shit! I
and
should not have asked.
yeah, so then
Damn.
so all these women got radium poisoning. It was in New Jersey actually.
Oh no.
So it was a huge case because not only like the women would paint it, they would like put it on their skin to go out because I'm sorry, this is a very important part. Radium glows in the dark. So it's for them to make these glow in the dark watches. So they would like go out and put it on their skin, put it on their clothes to look really cute, and then they ended up dying of radium poisoning.
So, damn, this radium thing that the women were biting off, it was at
Mhm.
work?
Yeah, it was at work. There was the radium. It was radium based paint that they were using.
And so, like, their boss was like, this is how you fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Did
And
the
they were
boss?
aware. They were aware of it as well.
Oh, so they knew this would kill
Mhm.
them?
Yeah. They knew that it was
Oh,
radioactive and that should not be
shit.
ingested.
Damn, yo.
Mm-hmm.
This the type of shit I'm like recently becoming aware of, where I'm just like, fucking just wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel very fortunate for me being what I am, where I am right now, all of it. Because based on the information I was given, I should be in an absolutely different direction.
Mm-hmm.
I like who to attribute it to, my sisters, my mom, or something, God. But there's the information that I was given and supplied with as true and factual information that I was supposed to use to operate my life on. Fuck, was that wrong? Just wildly in just the levels of wrong it was
Mm-hmm.
is like I don't even know where to go to describe it. The type of words I don't even have the vocabulary, the synonym of wrong. I don't even have that shit for how
Like
wrong.
what were some things that you were taught? Give the audience an example. Give me
All
an
right, just uh, like because I also don't want to just sound corny, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want the words to that I'm saying to be on purpose words.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yep.
So it's like, all right. Even the way that I guess we were supposed to relate to women as boys
Mm-hmm.
is just like very everything was based around being afraid of shit and nothing was based around understanding things.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a fair answer?
Can you give me an applicable example?
Applicable example. Um hmm. Applicable example. So it has to be something that what has taken place.
Or just an example of what you're talking about in terms of like being afraid of stuff, but
Being afraid of stuff.
like whatever you were taught about women that made you, but you were based, it was fear based versus
Fear
like
based.
knowledge
All right.
based.
Yeah. I'm trying to like match it to something being like, yeah, in like school, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have like a real life example.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, maybe the idea or the sentiment of women mature faster than men,
Mm-hmm.
but then they just leave that alone with an on purpose negative connotation to it, where it's like supposed to be out there to make dudes go fucking no, and it's like there's no explanation or theory, or it's just it feel like an incomplete sentence now to my brain, my current brain now. That sentiment feels like an incomplete sentence, like there's more to be said.
Wait, were you talking that whole time? Because the internet was out. You were frozen on my end. I have no idea what you were saying. Like it literally was like right before you started your example, and then nothing for like at least 30 seconds. You were just stuck like this. And I thought you had stopped talking. So I checked my phone and then you came back.
Okay.
So this is actually an opportunity for you to like edit your story and say it again.
That was funny. All right, I don't think it needs an edit though, because I think it did record on my side. But I think I remember everything. I was talking about the idea, and they say women mature faster than men.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that now my current brain, my current understanding of the world and whatever makes me hear that sentence and think that it's an incomplete statement. And
Oh,
then,
certainly.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, cool. So then, yeah. And then before my current understanding, it was like I felt like they put that term out there, whatever the they is, put the term out there in a way to make men go, fucking no, that's not true. And like that's how we were supposed to hear it and immediately feel right away. They never explain anything. There's no theories behind anything.
Interesting.
It just it was, I feel like it was just to make you feel defensive.
I was thinking that I've always taken that. I agree with you about like it's an incomplete sentence, but it's like women mature or girls mature faster than boys. And I think the complete sentence is like because the expectations on women are much higher than men, and men aren't held accountable the same way that women are. We can finish the sentence differently, but I think it's interesting that like that makes like a hostility within a man, right? That he like gets hostile or like defensive when he hears that, because I never thought about that.
Okay, I think the possibility of why you didn't think of it that way is because if you hear women mature faster than men, and then the understanding of what maturity is, and then you're a woman,
Mm-hmm.
it would be like, yes, I am mature. You know, like, I did mature quickly. I do know a lot. I'm intelligent. Like, there's no reason for you to feel any defensiveness or hostility towards that.
I guess I just like
But as
always.
a
Oh, sorry, good.
no, I'm saying like as a young dude,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you already feel not mature because like you broke.
Mm-hmm.
You your ability to relate to the opposite sex is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, so you feel already mad ways not mature, and then you come to find like, and it's like, so what? I'm just gonna, it just feel dwarfed, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. I guess like I always like reject those kind of statements, period, only because like I don't. It's such a case by case basis, like especially because I'm a teacher during the day. Like you meet some very mature boys and you meet some very immature girls, and like I would say generally the statement probably is true, but you know, some people never grow up, you know.
Yeah, and that's true. And I feel like the other parts of the statement is that what what parts of maturity, like if you compartmentalize maturity, what a fucking word, mature, but like if you try to like what part of you and where are you mature, kind of the same way like confidence can be situational,
Mm-hmm.
where a person can display extreme levels of confidence but only in one area, and if you put them in a different situation the confidence disappears.
Comedians.
Right, explain, like right there, it's just like,
Put
but that
comedians
same
in the
thing,
nine
what
to
did you say?
five. They won't make it. The average.
It's ridiculous. You could do all kind of talk to 200 people, but to say excuse me over here, you shaking type of
Mm-hmm.
shit. But
Yeah.
like that same thing applies all over the place, where it's like the, the current things I was thinking, or the ways I was thinking before, past understandings, and just mixing shit too much,
Mm-hmm.
and then not having any base or a place of reference. There's nobody to ask
Yeah. No,
because
definitely.
everybody's under the same shit.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think like it is kind of we're having these really great conversations about men and like how they should mature and what they're doing, what they're not doing. And we're not really getting to a space where we're like, it's no one. That's the thing about like our society, right? Like it's nobody's responsibility to teach. Like I as a black person shouldn't have to teach white people, right? And similarly women shouldn't have to teach men how to be like decent human beings. But then when you have that mentality, it's kind of like, okay, so where do we go from here? If I'm not willing to have the conversation with you and because I don't need to, or because it's not my responsibility, then like you just end up staying the same, or at least you no longer, you're a little bit less accountable because no one's holding you to task, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing I just remembered was the types of maturity thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I was talking to my girl and she was telling me about how, you know, her experience is going to the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear my mom talk about going to the doctor's office. And then my girl talking about how it was even in high school going to the doctor and shit like that. And then I'm, you know, relating, hearing those experiences and talking and thinking about what it was like for me. And like a general health check for a boy, if it's just like everybody already sees the kid as like a regular healthy kid, and they take him to the doctor for just a general checkup, just to make sure the operations is operating correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking funny in comparison to what I was hearing my girl tell me, where she was like, they had instruments for her.
Oh, was she like going to the gynecologist?
She was telling me about like how the checkups are.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, for like, yeah. So if you go to like your primary care doctor, I think it's probably the same kind of experience. But if you're going for like your regular, if you're going for like your annual or like depending on how often you go to the gynecologist, like, yeah, they do have instruments. It's like, it's a bit much.
Yes, but you gotta
Open up.
realize,
We're gonna like,
see, you guys have that. That's a part of your life from at what age?
I think it varies. I think some people start going like as soon as they get their period. Some people go like when they start being sexually active, I think is at least the recommendation when you start like having,
So anywhere from what, 13,
probably
14?
like 13 to like, I think most people have probably been to a gynecologist by time like 20, 21 at the very latest, I would say.
All right. So before that, no gynecologist whatsoever.
You're not going as like a 7-year-old, no.
No. I'm not saying 7. I'm talking about like teens age. Like
I think
you in
maybe
high school area.
but I think that's more. I mean, I don't remember really going to a gynecologist till I went to college.
All right, so that's like 18ish,
18,
19ish.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As a dude, our system checkup down there is a dude just do the cough joint.
Does he put his hand on your balls and says cough?
When I was younger, I remember that in a certain situation, if it called for it, I think. Or if that's something I just saw on TV, I'm not even sure, but I don't even think that was, I don't know.
It was a special
or
request.
Nothing. Yeah, or like fucking nothing. It was nothing. They made us pee in a cup,
mm-hmm.
and then they take some blood, like, put the little stethoscope shit on your body, cough, they hit you with a little shit on your knee, and they be like, all right, nigga, get out my office. It's like really nothing. Like, fucking go.
Well, it's true.
He's telling me all of these fucking things I gotta happen, and I'm like, God, of course you gotta mature quicker, because that shit is a part of your days now.
Yeah, but that's why it's two things. Like, one, that's why like they have such a hard time like diagnosing things like testicular cancer and like prostate cancer and all that stuff, right? Because if you're going to the doctor and all you're doing is like high-fiving each other and getting some blood work done, and then somebody wants to put a finger up your butt when you're 55, that probably is a difficult transition to make.
That's hilarious.
Also,
transition,
right? Like, so here we go. Like that's really hard.
A difficult transition to make.
But then on the other hand, I'm like, I wonder how many women are actually like, your balls feel weird, you should go to the doctor. Like, how many people are actually getting like testicular cancer diagnoses from their girlfriends,
But that would take a girl to know what normal balls feel like and abnormal balls feel like.
You don't think
in order for that to take place, you know what I'm saying?
No.
So she has that type of information.
It's like every month they suggest that women do breast screenings, and part of the reason that you do breast screening is not that you can diagnose yourself, but to know what is normal, what's not normal for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I think that if somebody's familiar enough with your pair,
they might be. I get it.
Yeah,
so
they might be able.
I remember in 2015 they felt like this.
Yeah,
that thing was not there in 2015.
Yeah,
I get it.
Think about it.
See, that's the type of thing. That's love right there. If you gonna feel my nuts and make sure they got the same pattern, that is the type of care you can't buy that.
Yeah, that's what they do when they make those vows. That's
you can't buy that.
It's probably a more pleasurable experience, right, than like doing that yourself.
My ball pattern, that's intuition. What's that? Women's intuition?
I don't know. I don't think it's intuition. I feel like women's intuition would be like her walking past you in the living room being like, something's wrong with your balls.
Don't feel right.
They'd be like, or she like gets a whiff of the air. She's like, something's amiss here. But no, I think it's more of a woman's touch, if anything else.
That is fucking funny. Yeah, a lot. I feel like even with certain words like women's intuition, a women's touch, a lot of that shit wasn't taught to us correctly, yo.
Yeah, men.
The literal words and phrases themselves was not used or taught correctly. I
I'm
had
sorry.
to like read fucking like, oh, that don't. There was like engineering work. I was like a little mechanic nigga in my head with the words, basically.
I need somebody to teach you some words. Like you really feel you're like remorseful about not having learned enough words in your life.
Words are important,
You
yo.
can
You can
start
get out of
today.
so much shit if you
Regretful.
got mad words.
You know, words are definitely important, and I find that the ability to pick out the right word at the right time is like an underrated skill. I mean, it's a huge skill for comedians, but like, you know,
For
I think we understand the
life.
power of words even more than average person.
Yeah, because that's what we get paid to, like that's our thing. That's what we get. That's our whole engine.
Yeah.
Like I like even when I think about I used to say I'm bad at math. I'm not currently good at math. I
Hmm.
haven't tried in a long time either, so I don't even know what my current level is. But
Hmm.
I remember school, math was never it was not with me, yo. It was a challenge. However, any books, any classes, subjects that required reading
Hmm.
and it relied on word usage,
Hmm.
I'll be fine in. I could sleep. I could really behave differently in those classes
Okay.
versus math. Math was a fucking I have beads of sweat coming down my shit just to get a 64, motherfucker. Like it was like that. I was like, God damn fuck. But in like English, I could come 30 minutes late and get a B plus.
Yeah, people tend to be better, especially like when you get to the high school level. Like a lot of people fall off in math.
That's hilarious. Now she froze on my side.
Really? Damn, I was telling something super.
All right. Now you back though. So last thing I heard was a lot of people fall off on math.
Oh yeah, in this like around the sixth grade. So
Mm-hmm.
most kids enjoy math up until they go to middle school, and then they stop enjoying it, and then the
That's
preference goes
because
to
up until
reading.
that point you can use your hands. It's always fun when you can use your hands.
True. And then a lot of times, like that's when standardized tests usually happen in like third, fourth grade, but then that's why it just accelerates. Like math is like, and then also there's a few different changes, right? Usually you go from having one teacher teaching you everything to now you've got multiple teachers. The transition to middle school is really shitty for most people.
Like I think most of public school just fucking I don't know what public school did for me. I don't if I'm trying like I don't know. I know it did stuff,
Stuff.
but like when I'm trying to where I'm at right now and I'm thinking of navigating life and
Hmm.
achieving goals and financial goals,
Hmm.
personal goals, fucking family, relationship, interpersonal, whatever the fuck. Not no point was I able to reference school.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
that's what's crazy to me. This is like at no point can I be like, oh yeah, I learned in five. No.
I feel like that's probably really popular sentiment. I mean, I enjoyed school and I learned a lot there, but it's like things that I people will kind of
I feel
chalk
like you
that
have like an academic brain, yo.
maybe, but I think too that like it's so funny because I feel like one of the things that I got like people be like all we learned was like about the Civil War and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like all those things are very relevant. It's just you don't look at it as relevant. You look at it as history, but then people are so lacking in
I feel
knowledge
like
of
they
history
didn't even
that
tell us about that right. There's mad shit about
well they
that.
definitely well there's also like perception and point of view for how we learn these historical things. Like that's definitely a really fair criticism. But I don't know, I feel like I don't know, like I think a lot of people are like, how come I didn't learn how a credit card works? So how come I didn't learn this? And all of these things are very Googleable things, you know?
Yeah,
Or
but that's
maybe
Google now though.
now, but you had Google. You're younger than me, Andre.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's for us now to
Hmm.
learn these things. But the whole concept of life is that we're not supposed to rely on a computer.
But I also think we're not supposed to rely on school to teach us everything. You know what I mean? Like I feel like like school schools have also become this thing where the demands of what a school is supposed to teach you become more and more. Like at one point it was like school taught you how to read, taught you how to write, taught you arithmetic, and that was pretty much it. And you got your high school diploma and
Okay,
you moved
that's
on, you
that's
know.
fair.
But now we're
That's a
supposed to
fair
teach
thing.
like everything, and we're supposed to also be able to prepare you for the real world and get you college ready, and then also teach you about how to like refinance your car, and like
All
also like how what a deductible is, and like all those things
right.
cannot fit in like an 8:30 to 3 p.m. day, you
True.
know.
Okay. So you have the reading, writing,
I think we should keep
math,
that. We should keep that.
and then you have science,
hmm Changes every year.
then you have health
History,
and
history,
history.
health, yeah,
Okay. Um
and health might be gym.
yeah, those could go together. Those go literally hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like health classes should be taught with there should be no desk, no books involved. It should be on some like some gym slash speech shit. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but another class I would have to add to the five was like art got to be in there.
Art or music, and yeah, those should definitely be in
I,
there.
I include when I say art, I include the music into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely include music into it because though when I say art, I'm just thinking of like expressions. You know what I
Yeah, no, I
mean?
agree with you.
That's what I think of when I say the word art.
I would bring
So
back home economics.
that's like teaching them how to cook and shit like that.
Like cook and clean, not clean, but like not just clean, but
True, but
like
those things are truly you can learn at the house because you have a
no.
home.
So here's the thing, right? So on one hand, I'm like, there's only so much time in a day, but on the other hand, I'm like, so many of our communities, these
Don't
kids
have that.
won't really learn those things if it's not in the school, you know? So I think like home economics could be a place where you learn how to, there's other things they teach them like basic carpentry and stuff and home economics, like skill, like different skills you can learn in home economics
Mm.
that are important skills.
Yeah, and then a huge thing when it comes to school though is the complete lies that's allowed in these curriculums.
Oh yeah, especially
Like
well,
that's a big problem. Just the big lies and the opting out of information and yada yada yada.
yeah,
Those suck. That can't be. That's not good for anybody.
yeah, no, it's true. And like there's this place, I think it was in Texas, where like they were trying to change the curriculum to make it more like racially progressive and stuff. And the families of these like rich white Texans like fought it to keep certain racial elements out of the curriculum, like basic history. So a lot of it is definitely being fought too.
Like wait a minute. They fought to do what?
They fought to keep like certain curriculum changes from happening. Like I think that they wanted to introduce something about like equity, you know, like teaching about like rate, like oppressions, like school to prison pipeline, marginalization of people. And the families were like, we don't want our kids to learn that.
What? Like now, fuck. Okay, all right. So we all human beings, right?
Uh-huh.
It's everybody's first try on this earth type of shit, right? Don't
Mm-hmm.
nobody know everything. Yada yada yada. Don't judge all that stuff. Everybody deserves a fair shot, second chances and tries.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're 40, 50, 30s, whatever, you're grown, you're an adult. You transitioned into this. I'm grown now.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids and everything, and then you will actually wake up and say, I don't want them to find out something that is true.
Yeah. Well, they may not pursue. Yeah, essentially.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not even true where it's like, what type of truth? It's nothing. It's no type. It's not some type of truth that's like, oh my God, this will shatter the world. That it's just like, yo, if you learning about slavery, you can definitely learn about what they did after it.
Yeah. Well, you
Like,
know what?
what the,
There was like a textbook that came out, and it was like they didn't use the word slaves or enslaved people. They called them workers.
Yeah.
There was like a big uproar about calling them workers.
This is like when what's that motherfucker that man, the dude that tried to run for president, the black guy, and he was a, a doctor and he tried to
Ben
stab his
Carson?
mom, fucking dork. Yeah, like so this idiot, remember he was like how slaves, he said slaves, it was like something about slaves were something about on a ship. They were just passengers on a ship that was looking for a new life or some shit with a dream. Yeah, slave somebody like something like they had a dream. Slaves came from Africa with a dream or some shit like that. And I was like, yo, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, they dreamed of going home.
Of not being slaves, nigga, like being back where the fuck.
The
They
dream
had
was
a dream, he
a
said.
couple hundred years, yeah.
A dream. This is a black dude who's a doctor.
Have you ever seen Ben Carson's wife?
Nah.
When you get a chance, Google her. It's such an interesting couple.
So is she fire or some shit?
I don't know. I don't judge, but it's they were looking. I was surprised.
You know, somebody that part of judgment is not judgment. That's just what shit is.
She just surprised. I just felt like
Somebody ugly to somebody. I know somebody look at my face every day and be like, "What the fuck happened there?" And then there's other people that be like, "I like it, big deal." Ben Carson's wife.
Candy Carson.
That's a funny name, Candy Carson.
Easy.
Oh shit, I do see her. She looked very simple. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean it in the mind. Like I feel like her brain is a simple brain.
Probably, yeah. She seems like she's just along for the ride, you know?
Yes. He
Watch
be
this-
in the house saying all kind of bullshit. And she be like, "That's my cousin."
Yeah, exactly. I feel like someone's gonna like look into it and find out she's probably a doctor or something. Oh no, she's a author and businesswoman.
AKA bullshit. Two things you can just make up if you have enough money.
Yeah.
Those are two things you can make up if you have enough money.
Self-published author.
You can just make that shit the fuck up if you have enough cash, which of course Dickweed Carson does.
Which like businesswoman isn't like, because I could say I'm a businesswoman. I'm just
yes, you've
poorly.
made money with businesses before, and you're a woman.
You know,
you're a businesswoman. I'm a businessman. We business people.
We're business people.
Now what? The fuck is with the businesswoman? My ass. Yeah, that's my cousin. Slow ass motherfucker. She's slow as shit. I could tell she's just slow. I know that bitch slow. But he said, yeah, that somebody's supposed to be a fucking scientist essentially. And that's the thing, even when you talk about the vaccines, yo. And all the black people being like, I don't want to fucking take this fucking vaccine. It's like, you gotta be understanding of why black people don't kind of trust people in coats with needles and shit, man.
I mean, like, I'm like I got the vaccine, and I definitely agree that there is like hesitation, but I also think that like the other part of that is education, you know? So I feel like it's like really weird to be like, I'm not getting it, and then like not do any research whatsoever about as to come up with a substantive reason as to why you're not getting it, you know? History cannot be enough.
Educate me if you can, or if you would like to, about the vaccination, because I don't know absolutely anything about it.
From what
Tell me what you know.
The basics of what I know about it, it's like so most vaccines that we're familiar with use like a dead or weakened version of a virus. So like if your family's in the West Indies, so I'm sure like your parents have that like thing on their arm from being inoculated. So that's the way they used to do vaccines. But this one I think is different because they use the mRNA, which I think is essentially like a part of the virus, but not the virus itself. And then your body builds antibodies based off of that because it recognizes it. And then most people have some kind of efficacy after the first dose, but then you get the booster, which is what makes most people more sick because your body.
Shut